Shalom, Most High in Christ, blessed to everybody. Hope everybody doing good this morning. I'm Officer Nahum with IUIC Raleigh. We're here in Oak 93.5, Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Who we got here in the who we got today? Who we got here?
Yeah, I know we got Officer Ebb. Shalom.
Hey, Officer Medad. Shalom.
Crazy. So we got Officer Ebb and Officer Medad. Let me touch on the topic here. So the topic is the government shutdown is over for now, but not everything is back to normal. Okay? So that's a heavy topic, right? You know, I know everybody can relate to this. Everybody's affected. You know, us as a people, as a nation, even as so-called Americans, right? You know, everybody's affected by the government shutdown. So there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of different things that have took place, right? So tell me what y'all thoughts is real quick. Let me see what you had to say there, Ed. What was your thoughts on that government shutdown?
Hey, well, I mean, you know, for us it was a little bit different because we've all praises to the Most High that the leadership already foresaw these events taking place because of the Bible, right? So a lot of us were already preparing. We already had our pantries. We already had our, our gardens and things like that. And we also have a bond amongst each other. So therefore, if let's say you got something that I ain't got, you know, we can do a barter, we can trade, stuff like that. You know,
right.
We were already preparing, but that did not negate us from still feeling the effects of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We still felt the effects of it because we are here in Babylon the Great, you know, and we're all at their discretion, you know, when it comes to certain things. We got to serve our enemies. So
right,
yeah.
Hey, absolutely. You know, we got to serve our enemies. What about you, there, Officer Medad? I know you just got married and everything.
Yeah.
How did it affect you with your marriage and stuff?
Hey, right. I'm in what they call the honeymoon phase right now.
Yeah.
So it's no troubles right now. You know what I'm saying? As of now, but yeah. So actually, it's funny because I was actually talking to Officer Joel about this last night. That our people are gonna start waking up and understanding the real trueness of this Bible when these events start taking place. When they realize that they're gonna have a difficult time depending on government assistance and all these things. Yep. They're gonna realize that we're gonna need to come together as a people to help one another, and that's what we're gonna start seeing. That the Bible is gonna become more and more true in people's eyes, and they're not going to have nowhere else to turn but God. That's how our people are. Affliction makes us turn to God.
Right.
That's how it goes.
During their affliction, you know, we're gonna return to the Most.
Yes,
pull that scripture there for me real quick. That Hosea right there. Yeah, that's a good little script there to start with right there. You know, because like you said, we don't feel nothing. We think everything's fine and dandy, everything's good,
right.
Everything good to go until affliction arise, right? You got that for me? Read
yes, sir. Hosea chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
Right. So God said, I'm going to leave real quick. I'm going to step away until my people acknowledge their offense. Who's God's people? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, you Israelites today, right? Go ahead.
And seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
Right, during the affliction, right? So this is one big major affliction that affect everybody with this government shutdown. So, you know, the snaps, you know, food stamps and all that stuff that took place. You know, people worried about they couldn't get their money, or I'm gonna say stamps. They couldn't get their food. You know, it's been a halt on a lot of things, you know, that took place. You know, the government jobs, you know, government workers being furloughed. It's been a lot of stuff been taking place. Most High said, I gotta shake it up for y'all real quick. I'm gonna put the spirit on your enemy so he can shake up things. So that way you guys can come and seek me early. And more?
No, that's it.
All right. So watch this right here. So we'll touch on it. We'll dive right on into it, right? So the topic today is the government shutdown is over for now, but not everything is back to normal. Okay, so the government shutdown is over for now. I say for now because this is just the beginning. Like, you know, it's been shut down before for years, you know, from, you know, previous years, you know, what was it, back in 2013, 2019, now we in 2025, right, almost into 2026. So, hey, this thing here is not over. This just little small steps, little what do you call it? Well, a female going through labor pains, right?
Yep.
That's what the Most High is saying. Labor pains. He said, I'm gonna make this thing happen rapidly. Okay, so now it's coming. So, but now, like you said, yes, the president, he signed the bill and everything, but it take a while for that stuff to take full effect, right? So I'm gonna read on some of these things. I'm going off a little news article here that I was looking at. This is on NPR or whatever. I'm gonna let you go. I forgot. I sent it to you.
Yes, sir. I have.
You go ahead and read that bad boy. Go ahead.
Okay, this is from NPR. The government shutdown is over, but not everything is back to normal. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history is officially over after President Trump signed a bill passed by Congress on Wednesday night. The federal government is reopening after 43 days on pause. Things may not return to business as usual right away.
Right. So it let you know, it said 43 days on pause, right? So, we said 30 days, we know that's a whole month. That's 4 weeks, right? So this is probably about equal to almost a month and a half.
About
6 weeks.
About 6 weeks.
It's about 6 weeks here, right? Yeah, this is the longest government shutdown, right? But read on.
Things may not return to business as usual right away. For instance, federal workers are still awaiting back pay, and air travel disruptions are expected to linger.
Right. So, there's still a whole lot of this thing. It took a big, what do you call it, domino effect, a triple effect or whatever on a lot of people. A lot of workers, a lot of people got a lot of things that's taking place, hurting their pockets. Even you got small businesses, small business owners. Everybody want to do business with the government, right? That's where you get a little. They gonna pay you. You think you're gonna get paid. But hey, a lot of that
guaranteed
money, right? But hey, everything ain't guaranteed. You ain't gonna get paid on time. Right. But I guaranteed you this: if you owe the government some money, they coming for it. They're gonna take it out.
They gonna get that money
immediately. They're gonna take it out. You gonna see a garnishment like what? Or you gonna get a letter say, hey, y'all, you need to come up with a payment plan, and we want our money. But what about us? We want our money too. So and like these topics right here that we touching on, we're gonna have a little discussion about it because all of us can relate to it, and I know y'all that's listening online. If any of y'all affected by the government shutdown, please call in. We want to hear what you got to say. What your what do you how this is affecting you. Right. Please call in. Okay. Again, read that last part of the paragraph.
Yes. For instance, federal workers are still awaiting back pay, and air travel disruptions are expected to linger.
Right. So people looking to get paid their money back, right? These federal workers, right? And they say air travels are disrupted, right? And expected to linger. So you got to think about people that travel. They got their own. They what do you call it? They travel and they go to these different places for work or for what do you call it? For luxury, for what is it? Personal travel.
Right.
Business is personal. Yeah. So guess they can't. They get there. They can't. There's things they can't do. Then that messes up the economy. Where they going to? Because like the hotels they can't. They can't, they don't have people. They got plenty of vacancy, but ain't nobody coming to the state.
Businesses still operate even though they don't bring in revenue sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you got 100 and something people you got to pay on your hotel staff, but you ain't maxing out your rooms, then that means you operating at a deficit.
Right.
But I wanted to touch on something right quick. Obviously, it says, for instance, those federal workers are still awaiting back pay. That one, I was speaking to my mother about it because she works for the federal government, right? This whole time they have not been paid, right? But she was deemed necessary to still have to go into work sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So you might think about the federal employees, their salary, they just missing out on the paycheck. Nah, some of them still had to actually go in and work knowing that they weren't gonna get paid, you know what I'm saying? So and they still waiting.
That sound like slavery.
Sound like slavery, don't it?
Sound like slavery.
I told her, I was like, it sound like you signed a contract for volunteer work. And she was like, no, I didn't. I was like, yeah, so that's why I was saying slavery. You working for free, you know what I'm saying, in some way, form, or fashion. That's why I like the
what do you call it, the pilots and them, or the people that work in the air traffic control, a lot of them was walking out on the job. They're like, man, I can't get paid. I ain't making no money, so I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? That made a triple effect. With that, give me, let's get real quick. I just start by the scripture here. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 48 real quick. You know, just to, but actually before we go Deuteronomy 28, 48, go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15 real quick so they know why we touching on that. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you don't listen to God, right, this is our people, the Israelites today. Go ahead.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses...
All these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So these are curses right here. These are bad things that's going to take place on the Israelites today, right? Or wherever we dwell at, wherever we scattered to be, and we're going to go through these trials and tribulations and curses. That's what it's called, curses, bad things. So we're going to touch on the curse right here. Go to verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So now you're going to serve your enemies, right? In what? Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
The Most High sent our enemies against us. Why? For breaking his commandments, read.
And hunger.
And hunger, right? So now food, right? So your snacks.
Right.
You know, they're touching on that. Your snaps, your food stamps. You know, where we go get our food and stuff like that from. Now you got to go. Now we depending on other people. Because back in the days, at one point in time, you know, we was able to grow our crops. We were able to grow our food. We had our own livestock. Now we don't. A lot of us don't have that no more. Why? Because we want to live and be like an oppressor. So now you got to depend on him for everything, just like it was back during slavery. Read.
Right.
In hunger and in thirst.
Even water, right? Because now you got a water bill, right? We're gonna touch on some of that too, because our people that's on who live in the subsidized housing, their water and their electricity, all that stuff is funded by the government, right? Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness, the clothes on your back, you know. And you know what? Still with all this, with this stuff taking place, our people still trying to buy the most expensive clothes, the most expensive shoes.
Right.
You know you're struggling. I mean, why are you trying to do that? Why not keep your money and hold on to your money? Use the clothes that you had last year or the year before. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
And want of all things, whatever you lacking, right? Whatever we don't have. So like a lot of federal government workers, a lot of them, they didn't save no money. They were making good money. You know, a lot of them don't have nothing in the bank. You know, nothing to show for what they, for the type of career that they have. Now they're struggling. They're trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay my mortgage. How am I gonna pay my car note? How am I gonna take care of this and that? You know, now everybody is up and rapping, scrambling, right? But go ahead.
And in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So it's letting you know these people, at one point in time, most of them had yokes of iron upon their necks. And I ain't gonna say most of them, all of them. All their ancestors, you black, Hispanic, and Native American, you had those yokes of iron on your necks, right? But go ahead.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until those yokes of irons came off when you were destroyed. You forgot that you were God's chosen people. Now you go by African American, Hispanic, Native American, or whatever, whatever you call on the four corners of the area, those are bywords, okay? So let's go back and read that, what we just read again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 40.
No, in the government shutdown.
Oh, yes, my apologies.
Hey,
Yeah, you're good.
I'm sorry,
Go
real quick.
ahead.
Hey, look, before you jump away from Snap, I just got a message notification on my phone from Newsbreak. It said USDA head says that everyone on Snap will now have to reapply, right? And so wait, that's not the funny part. Watch this. It says the secretary said after receiving data on SNAP recipients from 29 red states that 186,000 deceased men, women, and children in this country are receiving SNAP benefits. They applying with dead folks stuff and getting their benefits. So now they saying now that they brought it back, they like, yeah, y'all thought y'all was good. Now everybody has to reapply. And she said, it says, it's going to give us a platform and a trajectory to fundamentally rebuild this program, have everyone reapply for their benefits, make sure that everyone that's taking a taxpayer funded benefit through SNAP or food stamps, that they are literally vulnerable and they cannot survive without it. So the goal is to for them to be able to change the bar of who they think can actually needs the benefits. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna change the bar now. So yeah.
Now, hey, look, it's showing that, you know, there's a lot of people who's on a lot of those benefits. You know, not right. You know, who don't need it, right? Yeah. And this is part of now it's time for you to get up off your tail and go work. You're gonna have to do something. You know, this thing ain't gonna be given out to you for free no more. You know, a lot of things they're cutting down on, and a lot of our people, you know, like you say, we have a lot of sisters, a lot of single family households, right? Yep. You know, and you got a lot of our sisters go get pregnant. They go out there to fornicate and go get pregnant. And so they gotta have a child just to be on to live on the system. You know, that's evil. And they learn this from their mom. You know what I'm saying? Give me that Ezekiel about, you know, so is the mother, so is the daughter. You know, because this become a family tradition. You know, for most people. You know, hey, my mama did it. Nah, guess what? They're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do. They was taught that. Hey, you can get food stamps. You know, if you do this right here, all you gotta do is go have a baby, get pregnant. Right. By whom? But go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against thee.
Use this saying against thee. Go ahead.
Saying, as is the mother.
As is the mother, right? Because a lot of these single family households are run by mothers, right? Go ahead.
So is her daughter.
So is her daughter, because I know I've seen this right here. You know, living in the projects or living in the ghettos. You know, hey, a lot of my friends in them, hey, they came up and a lot of them was on single family households, and their mom would just go get pregnant again, or then they tell the daughter to do the same thing. Yep. You know, this is how you get in the system. And they'll keep doing that. And you see those same females, and they go to the club, they go party, they want to get high, smoke weed, get drunk. You know, like I said, now the times is changing. The Most High ramping things up that it's not going to be easy for you. But read on.
Thou art thy mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband.
Right, because she hate her husband or the baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, nobody told you to go lay with him, unprotected. And you ain't supposed to just lay with them. That's fornication. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
That loatheth her husband and her children. And thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loathe their husbands and their children.
Hear that? Though you are the sisters of the sister. So this thing fought it. It goes generation curse. This is part of Deuteronomy 28. You know what I'm saying? Hey, now the sisters, the aunties,
they encourage each other.
They encourage each other on that thing, man. Hey, all of us can relate to that. You know, and we know we have family members that do the same thing, and they wonder why they can't get over the hump. Right? I want you to do this real quick. Go to it was something else. I want you to. I had a scripture in mind that hit. Oh yeah, that's it. Hebrews 13:4, real quick. Hebrews 13:4. That's what it was. Because it goes into, like, a lot of our people get in the midst of fornication, and they start having children out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? They ain't married, and then they get brought in. They get put into this system. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and read that.
Yes, sir. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
Hear that? The marriage is honorable in all. It's a beautiful thing to get married. You know, hey, me, Dad, tell them you freshly married, Dad. You know?
Bring it out. That's my favorite verse right
there. Yeah, hey, it's marriage is honorable in all. Right? Go ahead.
And the bed undefiled.
Yeah, what you and your wife do, you know what I'm saying, in the bed, your husband and wife, hey, that is that's between y'all, you know what I'm saying? But of course don't bring other people in the midst of that. We ain't supposed to do no menage a trois or threesomes and all that stuff. That's going or some sodomy stuff. Go ahead.
But whoremongers.
But who?
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
Right. So this is one way of judge. Okay. Now you on the system. Now the system. Now you're gonna have to reapply. Now you thought you was, you know what I'm saying, was beating the system. You know, we're gonna get pregnant. We're gonna do this right here. Hey, you know, but you gotta break that cycle. You know what I'm saying? Teach your kids on how to how to become something. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, and it's sad to see that, but we just speaking truth, you know. But
can I give them one?
Go ahead. Yeah,
Can I
go
give them
ahead.
one? Hey, give me Revelations 12 real quick. Because Revelations 12 and 14. Hey, I know a lot of y'all Christians are unable to go into Revelations, but the Spirit of the Lord has given it to us. You know what I'm saying? Spirit of the Lord has opened up those scriptures to us in these last days. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Yeah. Because the reason I'm pulling this scripture is because the officer said something heavy is that they're conditioned to go and leech off of the system by their mothers, their grandmothers, because they saw it happen so many times before. But the reality of it is, this help is not help. It's not help. It's literally a curse for you to serve your enemies in want or lack of all things, right? This is a curse, but this is the enemy that you serve. And watch this.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
So that woman is the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, and those 2 great wings of an eagle, that was the so-called white man coming in and enslaving them and carrying us across the waters and into these different lands for our captivity, right? Read.
That she might fly into the wilderness, into her place.
That place for us is Babylon the Great, right here, United States of America. Read.
Where she is nourished.
All right, she's nourished. That means she's helped or sustained, like you would do a daughter or a wife. Read.
For a time.
A time. That's 100 years.
And times.
That's 200 more years.
And half a time.
And a half a time is 50 years, right? So that's 350 years altogether. Come on.
From the face of the serpent.
From the face of the devil. So help from the devil is not help. Right? It's a trick bag. That's why you see what's going on now. I have seen sisters crying online. I done seen them trying to figure out what they gonna do about they households, and I can't get my benefits. They not helping me with my rent this month. Like, they're literally so dependent on the government, and then have the mindset of, I don't need no man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy work. You've been fed a trick bag, and you think you live in a dream, because that's the only reason. The only reason you would try to pass down that mindset to your children is if you saw some good in it.
Right.
But you're not telling them that, hey, yeah, I'm gonna tell you now, you can be with this person, but one day he ain't gonna feed you. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Exactly that's the equivalent of what's going on right now. You can be with him and you can trust in him, but one day he might just say he ain't gonna feed you, and then he might not feed you for a whole 6 weeks plus a day. You know what I'm saying? Right. What you gonna do then? You know what I mean? Right. He not gonna let you have a person living in the house with you while you getting that assist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a trick bag. It's crazy.
It's a trick bag. Because you're not honoring marriage, now that continues that cycle.
Right.
So now you're gonna have to continue to be nourished from this government system that you can't depend on. So now what? You can't depend on the black man or the government.
Dang.
So where are you going? Where's she going?
That's a heavy thing there. All right, so we're going to go on this other portion right here of the government shutdown. Read that portion there where it said the longest government shutdown.
The federal government is reopening, but after 43 days on pause, things may not return to business as usual right away. For instance, federal workers are still awaiting back pay, and air travel disruptions are expected to linger.
Right. Read that bolded letter below, the bolded stuff below.
It says the longest government shutdown in U.S. history comes to a close.
So it comes to a close. That's what they say, right?
Oh, right here.
But yeah. So read that where it starts at. Where it says
and some impacts could continue much longer than 6 weeks.
So just like you fix something, right? Something gets broken. When you fix it, you got to let that thing warm up. You got to, let's say you had a car and something was messed up. You got to let it run for a minute in order for it to get back to normal, so everything can function.
Pressurized and all that type of stuff.
Everything got to pressurize. So, but this time it was shut down for 43 days, right?
Right.
So now it's going to take some time for this to come back, for everything to get back to normal, but it's not going to get back to normal. But read on.
Whether that's national parks trying to make up for lost visitor revenue, or taxpayers waiting longer for refunds from a backlogged Internal Revenue Service.
So we know who's affected by that, by the IRS, right? That's gonna be us, man. We waiting on that tax return, right? That's everybody waiting on that tax return. They want that money. Hey, so that money is gonna take a long time for you to get that money back, because now those people that worked for IRS, that's federal workers right there. A lot of them were furloughed, or they had to close and shut down a lot of the offices and stuff, right? But it'll touch on that. Read on.
There's also the looming threat of another potential shutdown in the not too distant future.
Go ahead.
Since this bill only funds the government through January 30th.
Right, so January 30th is right around the corner. So this is temporarily what we, what we getting, the opening of the government. That's why I said it's temporarily.
That's the pains you talking about.
That's the
contractions right there.
Hey, it makes you wonder why, though, don't it?
Right.
It makes you wonder why. It makes you wonder why. What's coming up? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's coming up where they would want you ignorant ones to just drop money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's coming up? It's crazy, bro.
What's coming up? Thanks.
Right.
Wow.
Thanksgiving. Those majors.
Look, this is one of them that we're going to speak about is Thanksgiving, right? So they know that's coming up. And you got people that, they invest money in, in the market or stuff like that for us to purchase certain things. So a lot of people going to go out and go buy all these turkeys, all this cranberry sauce, all that different type of, all these things to commemorate and to celebrate Thanksgiving, and don't know the history behind it. Especially a lot of people who claim to be so-called Native Americans, right? They go out and they be the main ones eating. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them have the abominable foods and stuff that come along with it. So a lot of this is why they're giving you the money so you can go buy all these turkeys. You can still buy all that stuff in the store. And not only this Thanksgiving, but Christmas, Xmas. Christmas is coming up. New Year's is coming up, right? All these wicked holidays, and why we call it wicked holidays or holidays, because they got nothing to do with the Most High in Christ. Okay?
Right.
Got nothing to do with the Bible.
Nothing to do with God.
Nothing with God. So just for those who don't know, what Thanksgiving is going into the commemoration of the celebration of the destruction of the Native Americans. Okay,
that's right.
That's what I go on. That turkey, when it's getting brown and cooked, that turkey is the body of the Native American man. Okay, which is the tribe of Gad in the Bible. Yeah. All right, that's going into how they destroyed them. Also, how they destroyed Issachar too, because Issachar was predominantly in the North America too, as well. But they were pushed down during, when you read about the Alamo and stuff like that, they pushed them down in the American and Spanish wars and stuff like that. No, not Spanish, but the American and Mexican War or something. I want to say that. But as they destroyed them, got them off the land, they gave them poison, not poison, but mom would say poison, but they gave them smallpox. Blanket. They used They was using biological warfare back then. Yeah, they killed off a lot of the Native Americans with smallpox and other diseases and stuff. So that's where that going to. The cranberry sauce represent the blood that was shed. Okay, that how they killed. The stuffing is all, like you said, what we talking about, the smallpox, how they tricked them and everything and took over the land. So then they threw a celebration Thanksgiving, because that's what that represents. Look it up, y'all. Do your own research, okay?
Yeah,
so
and
they
officer, they got in Plymouth, Massachusetts. They have what's called the Day of Mourning. All right, that's the flip side of some people are celebrating this day while the natives up there are mourning this day, saying, no, this was a day of bloodshed and killing. Right. And we sit down and talk about, it's just a day for the family to get together. It's not a day for the family to get together. How can you make something, take something that is based off bloodshed and then turn it into something joyous and gathering family together? Right. That doesn't make any sense.
It don't make no sense. Hey, look. And then when we're in school, they teach your children. You look at the stuff that they bring out. They talk about the pilgrims, right? Right. They talk about the pilgrims,
cannibalistic, murderous dudes, man.
Yeah. They talk about they all came together, had a feast, and this. They killed them and took over the land. How did they take over the land that was all the Native Indians? They just let you know they're. That's an evil thing that these people do. Okay, so just read that paragraph where there's also the looming threat. Read that again.
There's also the looming threat of another potential shutdown in the not too distant future, since this bill only funds the government through January 30th.
Woo!
Man.
So through January 30th, that's real heavy there. So it just let you know that our people, we trust in oppression, we trust in man. Give me that Jeremiah 17:5 real quick. Jeremiah, because it show y'all, man, we always trust in man, we don't want to trust in God. And so the man going into government, you know what I'm saying, the system. So that's what we put our trust in. Read what you got.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
Hear that? Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. Yeah, think about it, we already got curses on us, right?
Right.
So cursed is the man that trusteth in man, right? Read.
And maketh flesh his arm.
Make his flesh, meaning man, he make his flesh. He ain't putting his trust in the word. The word is spiritual, okay? The Bible. That's what we supposed to worship the Lord God in truth and in spirit. In these law, statutes, and commandments, not in flesh, not in man, because you see this man, he's in power or whatever. Now we putting our strength, our trust all into him, right? Read.
And whose heart departeth from the Lord.
So whose heart? Your heart is your mind, okay? Your mind departed from the Lord, and hold that right there. Let's give them proof on the heart. Go to what I want, Mark 7:21. We gotta show y'all what the heart is. It's not the organ that pump blood in your chest, right? That's what you think. You hear people be talking, yeah, but he hurt my heart. He hurt this, and you start touching your chest. No, he hurt your head, man. Your head, your brain.
Yeah. Right.
Go ahead and read that.
Mark chapter 7 and verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
So it's letting you know that out of the heart of man proceed evil thoughts, right? What are these thoughts? Where do thoughts come from? Thoughts come from your mind, your brain.
Right.
Evil thought. That's where it's coming from. It's not coming from the organ that pump blood in your chest. Okay, read on.
Adultery.
So you want to commit adultery? You think about that. Everything's premeditated. You thought about it in your brain. Go ahead.
Fornication.
You want to sleep with somebody? That's what comes to mind. Read.
Right. Murders.
Murder. That's why it's called premeditated murder. They thought that thing out. I'm gonna do this. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm gonna plan it. Okay. You gotta hate them first. It come all upstairs. Right. Go ahead. Theft. You want to steal something? You seen it? You didn't steal because it was coming from the organ that pump blood in your chest. Go ahead.
Covetousness.
You want something that you can't have, and you see it. It all forms from up top. You saw it with your eyes. Your eyes are connected to your brain. Go ahead.
Wickedness.
You want wild out, act crazy. Go ahead.
Deceit.
Lies. Where does lies come from? Lies don't come from the chest, the organ that pump blood. It come from upstairs in your brain. You thought of that lie and you said it out of your mouth. Go ahead.
Lasciviousness.
That come from evil, all type of crazy sexual thoughts and desires. Go ahead.
An evil eye.
You hatred. You hate somebody.
Blasphemy.
You lying against the scriptures. As soon as you come up and you want to debate on what the Bible got to say, you thought about that thing. It came from your mind. Go ahead.
Pride
come before destruction. Okay, you got pride, you lift it up, your head is lifted up, you big headed. That's why you think they call it you big headed. That's pride. It means your head. Go ahead.
Foolishness.
You just foolish, laughing, joking, and all. You got to come up with the thought, with the joke, right? It comes from upstairs. Go ahead.
All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
So these things will defiles you because it starts from up top. As you had to think about it, then you thought about it first, then you was able to either write it down, make a plan, and execute it. Okay, that's where it come from. All right. So that's what your heart is your mind. Okay. Go back to Jeremiah 17:5 real quick. Go back to that. I just want to give them the train of thought so they know what's going on.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord.
Your mind departed from the Lord, right? Read.
For he shall be like the hart in the desert.
Right, you're going to be like the hart in the desert.
Earth in the desert, excuse me.
Go ahead.
And shall not see when good cometh.
Right, you're not going to see when good comes. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what's good, because you've been living a lie the whole time, right? Go ahead.
But shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness.
Right, I mean, you're gonna inherit nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be poor. You're gonna be out here on the streets. You're gonna be struggling. Go ahead.
In a salt land and not inhabited.
Right, you're gonna be in a place that's not inhabited, meaning you're gonna be poor and vulnerable. That's what takes place. But read verse 7.
Verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is.
Say whose hope the Lord is, right there. That's where you're supposed to put all your hope and your trust is into the Most High. Okay, read verse 8.
For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river.
Right, now this tree is getting all this nourishment, getting the true nourishment, which is the word, okay, which is hold that real quick. Go to Matthew 4:4 real quick. So we're gonna show you what this nourishment is, what this food is, this water and stuff. Go read what you got when you get Matthew 4:4.
Matthew chapter 4 verse 4. But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
So this that food that we supposed to eat right here, the words of God. Give me Ephesians 5:26 real quick to show them what the water is. This is what the water is that we're supposed to be taking in. This is the water. This is what really baptizes you right here. Not no physical water that you dipping yourself in the water and you come back out the same way. You know what I'm saying? You a dog with mange, you coming out still just wet with mange.
Right.
You gotta take medication. This is the medication that you gotta take. Go ahead.
Right.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
With the washing of water by the word. Okay, meaning that water, this is the water that you need. This is what's going to make you spring out those fruits, those nice pretty leaves. So let's go back to Jeremiah 17:8.
Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 8. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river.
Right, see that roots going in there, that's how the tree drinks its get its nourishment from it suck up the water. It's got the nutrients in the ground from the roots. Go ahead.
And shall not see when heat cometh. But her leaf shall be green.
That's when you see that tree with a bright green leaf, because it's getting all the right nourishment. That's what you're supposed to be having. But right now, you in famine. Spiritually in famine, meaning you walk around here dead. We're gonna touch on that too. But read.
And shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
Right, because if we keeping God's commandments as a nation, we won't have to really worry about the government system like that. Because while we will be able to depend on one another, help each other out, but right now, we've been assimilated and we've been confused and dumbed down, and now we become dependent on what that curse, like it talks about Deuteronomy 28:48.
Right.
Okay. You're gonna serve him in all things, right? So let's go back to to that article again.
You want that last paragraph again?
Yes, that last paragraph.
There's also the looming threat of another potential shutdown in the not too distant future, since this bill only funds the government through January 30th.
So hey, just hang tight, just watch out, watch what's going to take place. There's going to be another government shutdown.
Wow.
right when right after their year change, because this is not the beginning of the year, but we're in the beginning of Esau's year. So when the year changes, wait till that. You're gonna see more turmoil, more trials and tribulations going to take place. But read on.
I got an idea.
Go ahead.
I got an idea right quick.
Go ahead.
Hey, look. So since y'all know that there's a government shutdown potentially on the way for January 30th, right? That means from now until then, you don't need to be spending no money on frivolous stuff. You don't need to be taking your food stamps and buying $20 turkeys and all that type stuff. How about let's boycott those days? How about let's keep all the money in your pockets this year? Don't go spending money on days that don't got nothing to do with you. Right. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna put their lights back up. Oh man, to buy new lights.
Your bill gonna go up.
Right. How you gonna pay that bill? Yeah. You furloughed and you already struggling.
Right.
Yeah. You are already almost 2 months behind. You might as well say 2 months behind, because they still, they signed the bill, but nothing has taken place yet.
Yeah, that's my challenge.
I want to see how you gonna do that. But hey, if you got your money, use your money wisely. Put your money up, save it. If you're getting paid, and I would say this: buy historic food. Get you some dry goods. Some beans, some rice. Some canned goods and stuff. Store that stuff up for the hard times to come. Okay. Right. But the most important thing: come find out who you are. Come learn and keep God's commandments. Okay, that's how you're gonna survive. But read on versus here look.
All right, here's a look at where things stand for now.
Right. So read on.
Federal employees return to work awaiting back pay.
So now the next topic is these federal workers, right? The federal employees return to work, but it's still awaiting back pay. A lot of them still hasn't gotten paid or hadn't seen any money coming back, right? Read on.
Roughly 1.4 million federal workers have gone without pay for 6 weeks.
Hear that? For 6 weeks. So, people are behind on their bills.
Oh, yeah.
You got, let's go real quick. Go to Baruch 3 and 8. Let's get that real quick. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8.
Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
It says, behold, you might not believe it or not, you still in captivity.
Right.
If you don't think you're in captivity, I'm gonna ask you this real quick. What's your last name? Huh? What's your last name and where did it come from? If you black or Hispanic, even Native American, where your last name come from? A lot of you don't have the last name that your God-given name or name from your ancestors. You don't have it. Right? Because you lost that way. So it says, read on. It says,
behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
Right, 'cause we've been scattered as a nation. Why? For breaking God's command. We've been taken forced out of our land and scattered through all four corners of the earth. Read.
For a reproach and a curse.
Look at that word there, that C word, keep popping up. Curse. Why does it keep popping up? We are scattered for a reproach and a curse. Right? Read.
And to be subject to payment.
Subject to payments, right? What payments? You got to pay taxes. So a lot of you think you own your house, right? You don't own your house. You might got a deed with your name in it. Stop paying the taxes. What's gonna happen? Do you really own your house?
The owner's coming to get it.
No, the real owner's gonna come get
That's
it.
crazy.
They're gonna come and confiscate your house because you owe them back taxes, right?
Yeah.
Then you think you got a car, right? You got a title in your name. Stop paying taxes on that car. What's gonna happen? Your car gonna get taken away, so you really don't own anything. Okay? Yeah, you may have some. You got a little ownership mint, but you stop paying taxes, it's going back to the real owner, the ones that own you.
Right.
So you owned by the government. Why you think you got a social security number? There wasn't no such thing of a social security number back in the day.
That's your barcode.
That's your barcode. That's
right. Straight up.
Yeah, why you think, look, then if you want to travel somewhere, why you got to have a passport?
Right.
Why do you need to know when you going to or coming from? Because you got Canada.
Yeah.
You can walk into Canada, you can walk into Mexico, but you got to have a passport to go in and come out. Then you got to get searched through U.S. Customs.
Yeah.
So you ain't free.
Then you got to get the real ID now. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on with this. Digital ID coming. All of that stuff is coming.
Ooh. Hey, everything. Hey, look, there's a lot of stuff being taken place, okay? You in the land of Babylon the Great, America, okay? Read verse 8 again.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment.
That's you paying your taxes, your bills, and things of that nature, right? Go ahead.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers.
According to all the sins, of our forefathers. Our forefathers broke the commandments. Yeah, I think for those who don't know, you regenerate. You are your forefathers.
Right.
You're the ones that broke God's commandments. So now we got to suffer through and go through what the mistakes that we made. Read.
Which departed from the Lord our God.
Right. We departed from the Most High God. Okay. Now that's why we don't know who we are. So let's go back to I got something to touch on, but let's go back to that federal employee return to work.
Yes, sir. Roughly 1.4 million federal workers have gone without pay for 6 weeks. Roughly half of them were required to keep working without paychecks.
Here's that. They required you to work, you know what I'm saying, without paychecks. You got to think about it. And a lot of us willingly did it like that. Why? Because you hoping for, you know there's going to be something, how can I say, you're hoping for this money to come back to you, this payback money. Yeah. And you don't want to leave your job, because now you're like, damn, if I leave here, I don't have no job. I won't get no tax return. I won't get no unemployment if I leave. That's for those who don't have money saved up. That's struggling from paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? I got bills. I I got Boo Boo and Kiki. They in college. I gotta pay. Look, I gotta pay for the college tuition.
Right. Hey, officer, can I get a script on that real quick? Jeremiah 22 and verse 13. Because that's crazy. Like, you're working, right? And you need this stuff to pay the bills. So you're working, you don't get paid, and the bill's still coming. So and the bill collectors don't want to hear there was a government shutdown.
Yeah,
they don't care about that because they owe somebody.
Right.
So it's crazy. It's just crazy. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 22 and verse 13. Woe unto them that buildeth his house by unrighteousness.
And that's what we're seeing. The officer was just bringing out, this whole land was built on bloodshed, slavery, unrighteousness. That's how this land, America, got built. We got to stop trying to act like we can't teach about the history. This is the history of this nation. We're not going to sugarcoat it. That's facts. Go ahead.
And his chambers by wrong.
That's how, chambers by wrong. Now you're celebrating a holiday about the murder of your people. Now you're celebrating a day that ain't got nothing to do with Jesus the Christ. Go ahead.
That useth his neighbor's service.
That uses his neighbor's service.
Without wages.
You ain't getting paid. That's what we just read in the article. You ain't getting paid. So you go to work. That's what happened in slavery too. All that cotton we picked, all that tobacco, all of that slavery. No wages.
Right.
Black people ain't getting no what do they call it? Reparations?
Yeah, reparations.
We ain't getting none of that.
Yeah. The mule.
Right. The 40 acres and a mule, right? We never got that. And now you got people, and that's why it's going to be civil unrest. Because now you got people that of all races here in Babylon, they're not getting paid. American people not getting paid. So it's about to be an uproar here.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I finished it out. It says, and giveth him not for his work.
That's it. You're not getting your proper due. So how can if the scripture says whoever takes a man's living is worse than a bloodshedder. You're a murderer if you take away somebody's living.
That's right. Hey, that's robbery.
Yeah, that's robbery.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? They ain't paying them no wages. They ain't getting no funds, no money back. And like I said earlier on in the thing, hey, look, you owe them money. They coming to take that. They gonna ante up.
Right.
Hey, look, in some cases, if they don't get it, they gonna take you.
Right.
And you gonna pay for it through slave labor in jail.
One way or another.
You gonna pay for it through slave labor in jail.
What is it? Remember cartoons that show you they working in jail breaking rocks?
Yeah. Right. And you got that ball and chain on you. Yeah.
Y'all see that big correctional farm that down there where we did our tabernacles at?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yep.
That correct. That imagine you got to work all that land for 10 cents a day, like you feeding it like you a starving child. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. You know they make generational wealth off of that.
Yeah.
They give you the crumbs.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight up crumbs.
Crazy.
Man. Go ahead and read that again.
It says roughly half of them were required to keep working without paychecks, while hundreds of thousands of others were furloughed.
They were furloughed. They had to stay home. They were still employed, but they wasn't getting paid. But they had to stay home. But you had some that were forced to come into work, and they still weren't getting paid. They were furloughed, but still working. You know what I'm saying? Getting slaves.
That sound like the military. You get in trouble. That's the only job.
Extra duty.
You can get in trouble. They'll take your pay. Find you to your barracks. But you better be at work the next day.
Hey.
You better be at work the next day.
Yo, 45 to 40.
Quick like.
Go ahead and read.
Ross Vaughn, director of the Office of Management and Budget, told agency heads to direct furloughed employees to return to work Thursday.
So now the furloughed people, they come right back to work. You know what I'm saying? But it's still not getting paid, Jack. Go ahead and read.
Agencies should take all necessary steps to ensure that offices reopen in a prompt and orderly manner on Thursday. Vaughn wrote in a Wednesday memo.
Right. So like we were bringing this up. This is a couple of days ago. So now most government employees they're off on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? They don't work. Most of them don't work unless it's necessary. But hey, You got to think about it. If somebody got to work overtime, think about the overtime pay. They're supposed to get time and a half and stuff. They ain't getting that junk.
Officer, imagine getting laid off and still got to go to work.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
How you fired? How you get laid?
How you fired on your day off?
Only in Babylon, bro. Only in Babylon.
Oh man.
Hey,
Oh, wow,
and
that's
the worst
crazy,
part
man.
is you hear some people who say stuff like, well, I just want to, I'm cool with doing it, because it's helping the other people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't care about you neither.
Right.
Like you, they don't care about you.
Right.
You just out here slaving for no reason. Hey, folks gotta prioritize, bro. They gotta prioritize. That's ridiculous, man.
Go ahead.
The timing of back pay is a different question. After the government shutdown ending in January 2019.
So this is going back to 2019 when we last had a shutdown. Go ahead.
Then the longest in history. Congress passed a law ensuring back pay for federal workers at the earliest date possible after the lapse in appropriations ends, regardless of scheduled pay dates.
So it's letting you know. So they passed the bill back then to make sure to get everybody could get paid right in a timely some kind of timely fashion, right? But hey, they still ain't got paid. This bill, look, this is something that they said that's supposed to take place, but it ain't happening. Man.
Right.
It ain't happening. They can't get paid. But go ahead and read on.
Yeah, look at the day.
But Trump,
Go ahead.
Trump appeared to suggest otherwise in public comments last month, leaving many feds worried.
So I want you to look. Click on. You see where it says suggest otherwise. Right? Click on that real quick.
Right.
Watch this right here.
Okay.
We're gonna read the portion. Read the highlighted part.
Right. It says White House floats no back pay for some federal workers, despite 2019 law.
So what law are you talking about? This is a lawless people, a lawless man or whatever.
Wow.
He said, I ain't paying. We ain't paying them nothing.
We ain't paying them nothing.
So let's read this. What Trump said.
President Trump is floating the possibility that some of the roughly 600,000 furloughed federal workers could be denied back pay once the government reopens.
Hear that? They gonna be, some people gonna be denied.
Wow.
They don't get no money. They got, what I'm saying? They let you know they ain't got no money to pay them, or they got some other plans to do with the money. They got plenty of money, but they got other plans. Go ahead.
Despite a 2019 law intended to ensure federal employees are compensated after a shutdown.
Look at that. After a shutdown, they're supposed to pay them, but they reneging. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we would say, hold them back. They like, remember what you call it? Remember the old cartoon? You see the horse and they put a little carrot in front of him so he can keep going.
Yeah.
They keep raising the bar. And our people, they gonna work. You know what I'm saying? They thinking they gonna get this extra money.
Yeah.
But when I say extra money, that's actually paid due to them.
Yeah.
But read on.
But
Go ahead.
Just a thought off of what you just said. Do you know what that's gonna do to people?
Yeah.
You know what 6 weeks of not pay, how far back in the hole that can set a person who was good? Like, they were good. They might have had about 2 or 3 weeks worth of, been working on savings and stuff like that. But you go 6 weeks without pay with a family, bruh, you are now in the hole. And if they not going back pay you, you not getting out of that hole no time soon.
Right.
They set you back a whole month and a half, man.
Hey, think about it.
That's crazy.
Hey, think about your overdraft fee.
Bruh, they
Hey, look, now you gotta pay them.
All that.
You gotta pay all these fees now.
Yeah.
You gotta pay that up. Then just to get yourself out of the negative.
Yeah, just to break even.
Just to break even. Then you trying to, you gotta work. I mean, it's a no give. You know what I'm saying? A lose situation. Ain't no win situation on that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But read that other part.
Yep.
So
speaking in the Oval Office on Tuesday, Trump appeared to publicly back a draft White House memo that includes an argument for denying workers pay.
Hear that? Denying workers pay. Man, hey.
It's not your fault.
It's just, hey. Let's go back, Rick. I just wanted to touch on, I just want to give you guys the mindset why the people are worried, right? So read that part there about Trump.
Okay, now we're back at the other one. But Trump appeared to suggest otherwise in public comments last month, leaving many feds worried.
All those federal workers, now they worried because they remember what Trump said. Hey, he said he ain't gonna pay us.
Right.
Some of us ain't gonna get paid. Who ain't gonna get paid?
Right.
I did this and did that. It's gonna cause a controversy.
Hey, officer,
bro,
if you remember back in the beginning of their year, January, Trump was saying, look, you could either take this package deal or get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can stay here,
Yeah.
but if things go left, you ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
So you want to get paid now or get thrown out?
Yeah.
Pick one. So you take this little package right now and be about your way,
Or leave with nothing.
or you ain't getting nothing.
Right. Why? Hey, go to Lamentations 4:17 real quick. Man, our people, you know, we trust in the system, and you know, we thinking this, you know, the government gonna help us. You know, this go with all our people, man. Everybody who's trusting in the system. You got it.
Yes, sir. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
See, that's our vain help. This is our vain help, is the government, right? Because this is what we got comfortable. We got happy in our situation. We laid back, chilling. Hey, the women, you know, the single family households, they still having babies and all that, so they can live on the system. You know, things is getting tough now. Things is getting hard. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Hear that? That's what we putting our hope in. That go back to Jeremiah 17 and 5 right there. Us putting our trust in man and making flesh his arm. You know what I'm saying? We thinking that's going to pull us out. That's what's going to help us. No, you gotta. I want y'all to. We gotta look at this. Somebody find me the script where it says we can use the word but don't abuse it.
Oh yeah.
You know, find that for me real quick, because you know there's certain things, there's certain systems and you know that we can use for help. You know what I'm saying? But you know it's not supposed to be forever. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to use it and then get on your feet and then you know you take off. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of that, but don't take full advantage and think that's going to be it. Read what you got.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
Yeah, that's what we seeing right now. You seeing the fashions of this world get ready to pass away.
Yep.
Every kingdom have their time to rule. You know what I'm saying? This is the last ruling kingdom of the world right here. Okay, this is the great powerhouse. This is the one saying you can't go, you can't trade, you can't do that. Put embargo sanctions on different countries.
Yep.
This is the greatest kingdom on the earth right now today. Okay. So and to further prove it, you know what I'm saying, give me go to what I want, Job 9:24 real quick. So this is the proof to show you who is running the earth today. You know what I'm saying? It ain't your people. It ain't nobody else. Who can go travel to the outer space and all that stuff? You can't. Go ahead.
Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So the Bible said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right?
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Right, because he covered the faces. Who's the ultimate judge is Christ and the Israelites, right? You know, that's who the judges are. You got the Most High God. Their faces are covered, meaning you know the true image of them is not what is out there to be. We see a Caucasian image, but the true image, we can read about that in the Bible. We'll touch on that after this, but read.
If not, where and who is he?
They said, and he's giving you a hint and said, if not, who's done it? Who else done it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're the only ones that did that, changes the faces. Right. Give me that one in Second Maccabees,
yes,
3:48. Yeah. So why? So even during the time of the Greeks, right, when they were ruling, they started, you know, they were doing the same thing. Go ahead.
1 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48. And laid open the book of the law.
They laid open the Bible. The Bible is the book of the law.
Wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
To paint the likeness of their images. You know what I'm saying? Because they were the ruling power. They want everybody to worship them. Want everything to look like them. So, but let's find out real quick. I know I'm kind of going off topic, but let's go to what is the true image of Christ. Let's get that real quick.
Yes, sir.
You know, I want Revelations 1. Yes, sir. This is where you'll find this at. For those who are tuning in, hearing this for the first time, we talk about this government shutdown, but this is all biblical. You know what I'm saying? We got to prove all things. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So his head and his hairs were white like wool, right? Actually, jump to verse 1 and we'll jump down
Yes,
so they can see the topic of discussion.
Verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So the revelation, the root word for revelation is to reveal. We're going to reveal what Jesus Christ looked like. Go ahead.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
To show unto his servants, the Israelites, things which must shortly come to pass. These revelations, prophecies. Okay, so jump to verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Who got woolly hair? Who got hair nappy, kinky like a sheep? Who can grow a fro? Why you think that when the sheep get his hair, it gets the sheep lips wide and stuff? You know, they're puffy. So they cut that off, and we use that wool, right, for our clothing, for different material, right? Go ahead.
As white as snow.
As white as snow, meaning it was fully white. His hair, go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes were as the flame of fire. When you go back to Genesis chapter 49 and 12, meaning that Christ drank wine, and he drank wine, his eyes going to be red with wine, okay? That's what that's going into. He had red eyes, okay? The whites of his eyes. Go ahead.
And his feet.
His feet, right? So your feet, you look at the top of your feet, is the same color the rest of your body. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So we can just say brass by itself is brown, okay?
Right.
When you look at brass or bronze or whatever, it's brown, right? The color of most of it. Let's see how brown he was. Go ahead.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So this is how you polish brass. You have to burn it in a furnace, so it comes out real dark, okay? So this is a dark skinned man, right? So let's see what Daniel saw. Let me show you a vision of Daniel. Daniel seen Christ in the vision as well. He said, this man was dark skinned. All the prophets in them were all people of color, okay? Yes, that's the descendants. We the descendants of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans of those Israelites. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 10 and verse 6. His body also was like the beryl.
So it's letting you know that the outer portion of the garment he had on was like a beryl, meaning green. He had a green garment on. Go ahead.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
Meaning his face was bright. You know what I'm saying? It was, because you can't see the face of Christ. You know what I'm saying? When he's in his angelic form. Go ahead.
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
So they saw the eyes, right? It was lamps of fire. He wasn't shooting out no beams to let you know it was red with wine. They called Christ a wine bibber. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he drank a little wine. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with drinking as long as you don't get drunk. Go ahead.
And his arms.
Now this one's showing you. Daniel saw his arms. What else he seen?
And his feet.
And his feet just like in Revelations. Go ahead.
Like in color.
There is color in the Bible.
To polished brass.
Okay, in order for it to come out, to purify it, take all the impurities out, and it come out of a dark contrast, a dark brown. Chocolate. Someone we be joking them, hey man, you burnt in the furnace, you black, your mama left you in the oven, you black as tar, you tar baby. That's what Christ was. He was dark skinned, very dark skinned man. Okay, but let's go to. I just want to bring that out to show you what this man did, what this kingdom had done. Okay. Right. Go to the next paragraph here.
Yeah. Oh, okay, the bold. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be payday for many federal workers. Instead, they're getting nothing.
So that back up what Trump has said. He ain't paying them nothing.
Get back to work.
Go ahead, read.
The bill that Congress passed to end the shutdown guarantees back pay. It also reverses several agencies attempting staffing reductions during the shutdown, which were paused by a federal judge, and prevents additional layoffs of federal employees through January.
Right. So this is gonna be, it's all type of turmoil. A lot of people trying to figure out how they're gonna get their money, when they're gonna get their money back, all of it and all that. Read.
Sean Southworth, a federal employment attorney, said in an Instagram video that the timing of back pay will vary by agency based on their payroll providers.
Right, based on their payroll providers, right? Whoever you're getting paid from, the different type of payrolls, right? Go ahead.
But most employees should start seeing deposits within days.
Right, they're supposed to see it immediately, right? According to that bill back in 2019, right? But But what's his name said, he said otherwise. But read on.
Many employees historically saw deposits within the first business days after reopening.
Right. So back in the past, when they were closed, you know, and that was shorter, a lot shorter than how long they were closed this go around. Right?
He says of the last shutdown, a minority may roll to the next cycle if the system needs extra processing.
So if the system needs extra processing, why? Because there's a lot of people that got laid off, who been furloughed, and a lot of things were shut down. A lot of businesses, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are not getting funded. So people are struggling right now, worried what's going to take place on their jobs, right? Go read on real quick.
SNAP is back.
So now this the key thing. SNAP is back. So that's what we back on the SNAP right now. I know we touched on it a little earlier. So we're back on SNAP, right? So read that right there.
The bill Congress passed to reopen the government funds the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, through September 2026. The program, which some 42 million Americans rely on for food assistance, has been the subject of much uncertainty.
Hear that? This has been the subject. This has been the big talk right here. This has been the subject of the main thing. What's going to take place with all these people who's getting, food stamps and stuff like that, right? And you just touched on something there earlier about that thing that hit your phone. So you hear all these, all this stuff, all this turmoil is taking place. So now you're gonna have a lot of people gonna be out protesting. A lot of people gonna be out, angry, upset, rioting, stealing, looting. Right. So there's gonna be all type of craziness going on. But read on.
And an escalating legal battle in recent weeks. The Trump administration said last month that it would suspend SNAP funding in November due to the shutdown. Prompting a wide outcry and a series of legal challenges.
Right. So now there's all type of stuff going on and taking place about this. You got 42 million Americans rely on this. And this is a lot, majority of them is a lot of our people too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people are affected by this. You know why? Because we trust in oppression, right? Get that for me. That trust in oppression. Get that. You got to show our people we trust in the oppression that's being put on us, and it causes us to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Now, when the plug get pulled, hey, that was a wild outcry. Go ahead, read.
Isaiah. You got Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word.
Why? Because we despise God's commandments, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, whenever we hear God's commandments, our people, we don't like order. You know what I'm saying? Now, except if the order comes from the oppressor, you know what I'm saying? Then we will somehow try to follow that. You know, but we don't follow that the whole either. But read.
And trust in oppression and perverseness.
Hear that? Dude? They trust in oppression, right? Us being oppressed as a people. And perverseness. What's perverseness? You know what we was talking about with them sleep. You know, having babies. What else?
Just to increase them SNAP benefits.
SNAP benefits. And you got
the holidays.
They invested in the holidays. All that stuff. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, all these New Year's. All this stuff. Our people going to forget. So like once they start getting some of their money back, they're gonna be like, oh. Everything's fine. We good to go. We good to go. I can go back to party, back in the club. When they got that, when that thing happened again, hey, what did you do with your money? What did you do? Did you prepare yourself? No. Read on.
And stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall.
A breach ready to fall. This thing is going to tumble and fall down on you. There's more to it.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
Breaking coming suddenly like right now when they said, hey, we not paying y'all. Y'all started crying, making videos. Hey, you didn't know what to do. You panicking. You scared. You like, dang, how we gonna do this? You know, this thing took a big turmoil. This hit everybody right here. Hurt everybody's pockets, right? So let's go back into the gut to this thing here. Read the other part about snaps.
SNAP funding paused to soon end, but anxiety and anger may linger.
Hear that? It says SNAP funding paused to soon end, but anxiety and anger may linger. So now our people got anxiety. They sick in the head. Give me that in what is it, Proverbs? What I want here. Yeah, Proverbs 13.
Proverbs chapter 13 verse 12.
That's it. Yeah.
Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
Heard that? It said hope deferred. Right. So what is your hope? When you look up hope, right? I got a little definition here. Bear with me. I'm gonna show you. Just because we use a lot of our people use certain words, but they don't. They don't never. Really look in to see what the meaning means. So this is the meaning of hope, right? This is the dictionary I pulled up. This is on Google. It says a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. Okay, we're looking for certain things to happen to take place. These are similars, aspiration, desire, or wish, right? Or it says here's another definition: a feeling of trust, right? Or want something to happen or be the case. So they expect, anticipate, or look for. So this is what they're hoping for. They're like, this thing here, I need this thing here. This is what I'm putting all my hope and my trust in, right? So read that scripture from the top again.
Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
So now what you wishing for, you hoping for something that you trust in this oppression. Now it's not coming out of depression. Now not depression. Oppression.
Right.
Now it's causing you to get depression.
Right.
Now you got anxiety. Right.
All the issues.
All the issues. Right.
All the actions.
Yeah. So now you sitting here, you like, hey man, I'm waiting on this thing, and you got all this stuff popping up, and now it's like your hopes done dwindle. Now you sitting there with the sad face, lips all poked out, you moping around, hey, what comes with that? That comes with heartache and pain. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about heartache in your chest. We go back to Mark 7:21. Heartache in your head. That's where you get your anxiety and oppression, depression from. I can get depression, oppression mixed up.
Because our people are wondering what they're gonna do now.
Yes.
That when you don't have a plan, you don't know what to do. That thing will weigh on your mind crazy. Like how I'm gonna eat, how I'm gonna feed the children, what I'm gonna do for work, how I'm gonna get money, how I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna do that. That'll tear a person's mind up.
Right. Yes. It'll manifest physically. The Bible do speak about that. It say carefulness bringeth what? Age before time. That junk, you start worrying all that time, you going through depression, man, you'll look like you 50 and you don't be but 24.
Right. And that's what's gonna lead to the outcry that we read in the article, because our people are gonna, not like you was bringing up earlier, officer, our people gonna start going out in the streets, gonna start stealing, gonna start rioting. It's gonna be a whole bunch, it's gonna be a mess. And that's what's gonna bring into the military part, but you got that.
My bad.
Wait for that part.
It hit me. We was on the phone earlier. It hit me. You brought out that Ecclesiastes 7:7, right? That gift, oppression make a wise man mad, and the gift destroy the heart, right?
Yeah. You want to bring it up?
I was just I was gonna touch on it for a point, but of course you want it, you got it.
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7.
Right.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Right. So I'll touch on the first part. Oppression. All of us, saw the effects and felt the effects of the government shutdown and things like that. And like you said, the people were crying. They was all upset, don't know what they're going to do and stuff like that. But it says it makes a wise man mad, specifically because he's going to take that and use that like, okay, this is what happened. Now, let me try to figure out a way to not be in this position again. Right? But that's not what our people do. Real quick, I want to read one verse, and then we'll go back to that. It says, Sirach 11:25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. That's what our people do. Our people will forget the affliction, right? And when everything is good, they'll be like, hey, you know what? I can still celebrate Christmas.
Soon as they get that check.
Soon as they get the money, you like, oh, I forgot all about it. I didn't know how I was going to eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get your food stamps, you go back to buying trash at the store because you can right now, instead of going to Sam's Club and stocking up on bulk items and stuff like that. It says, and in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So it's the flip side too, right? But this is what happens. Go read Ecclesiastes 7:7 again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So you mad, you angry, the oppression is hitting you, you feeling it, right? Read.
and a gift destroyeth the heart. So,
That gift is, hey, I'm gonna give you your food stamps back, right? I'm gonna give you your food stamps back because I know you're gonna buy that $20 turkey. I know you're gonna go ahead and celebrate Christmas. I know when New Year's come around, y'all gonna buy all the alcohol and y'all gonna be buying bullets because y'all dumb people gonna be shooting off into the air and all that stuff. Matter of fact, the hospital's gonna be good because I know at least 17 people gonna get shot in each city. Like they look forward to that.
Yes.
And then at the end of January, they're gonna say, all right, we're gonna close it on back down.
Yeah,
We don't want y'all to have enough money to celebrate the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? We don't want y'all to have the money to do the things that you know you're supposed to do.
Wow.
We want you to do foolishness so we can lull you back to sleep, you know? Crazy, man.
Hey, go to verse 12 real quick. Go to verse 12.
verse 12. The wisdom is a defense.
Four was.
For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
So a lot of, you gotta look at it and say, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, right? You gotta have money to pay bills, to eat food, but the main part is that wisdom is a defense, right? That you gotta have the wisdom. Where you gain wisdom from? The Bible. Read.
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Yeah, they said wisdom is that strong defense right there. It lasts longer than money. Money gonna go away. You know what I'm saying? Like during the time of remember during the famine with when Joseph, right?
Right.
You remember all money went away. They had to start selling crops. The people started selling their land. They got rid of all their things because of the famine was back. And that's what's about to take place. It's a famine. It's about to happen here, y'all. So y'all got to get prepared for the famine. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta look, they moving all the rich people into the city, and they pushing y'all outside of the city, and pushing y'all into the outskirts of the city. So some of y'all, you know what I'm saying, can have land. Y'all got land out there. Hey, start growing your stuff. Start growing your crops. Start, get you some chickens so you get some eggs. You see the price of eggs? Hey, you can get your own eggs and stuff when you get chickens. Don't get no ducks. Ducks are unclean. But get you some chickens, okay, or turkey, or quail and stuff. You can eat those eggs that come from those clean animals.
Right.
All right? But, get you some goats, sheep, all that stuff, but start, try to be independent from the government. Start trying to get your own, okay? But read that scripture one more time, 7 and 12, Ecclesiastes.
For wisdom is a defense.
For wisdom is the defense. That's the main topic. Go ahead.
And money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge
is the laws, according to Malachi 2 and 7. Go ahead.
Is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Right, because if you keep God's law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High going to open up your understanding. So you can realize and see what's taking place, what's happening now. Ain't nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? History repeats itself. So it just let you know to get prepared, so that way you don't fall into the system, okay? Right. Now, with that, give me Romans 15 and 4 real quick. Romans 15 and 4, because it showed you this is where you need to put your hope in, okay? Right. Because a lot of our people, our hope is all into this system. Read what you got.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
So what things were written aforetime, meaning in history, in time past. We can read about the Bible. We dealt with people. They're like, man, how this book gonna help me out? This book, this old. That's old. Now it got prophecies in it, and things that took place back then will prepare you for things to come. Okay, read that from the top.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
For your learning, for your wisdom, for your knowledge, okay? The main thing is for you to get wisdom from. Go ahead.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures.
So we can read about our forefathers going through these same trials and tribulations in time past. We was in Egypt. We was working on building those pyramids and temples and all that stuff, building up nice cities, python and Ramses and stuff like that. You were the slaves in Egypt. You weren't the high class people in Egypt. Those were Hamitic tribes, okay? Right. That was the true Africans, okay? You not no African. So that's the difference. Us black folks don't know that, okay? Those that's in that Kemetic lifestyle. Well, think about it. Why, when you go to Africa, why they treat you different? Or why the Africans, when they come here, I'm talking about the true Nilotic Africans, they treat you different, or they don't deal with you because they know you're not the same people, okay? Yep. Read.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
So this is where we get our hope from, okay? And this is where we get our comfort from, is from the scriptures, okay? Once we apply God's law, statutes, and commandments, and we can see what's taking place, what happened to our forefathers, It happened to them back then, and it's happening to us today. Okay,
Right.
so let's go back into that snap real quick.
Okay.
I forgot where we left off.
It was that while the administration.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. While the administration initially said it would comply with 2 rulings requiring it to provide at least partial funding for SNAP in November, it balked and ultimately appealed to the Supreme Court. After one of those judges said it must fund the program fully for the month, the Supreme Court paused that order and extended that pause again on Tuesday, with the end of the shutdown in sight.
So they were pausing this thing, right? They were holding back, like, nah, we gotta, because they was arguing about this. You know what I'm saying? How can we, you had the Republicans and you had the Democrats, right? This system is, is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They none of them is for us. Okay, but read on.
At this point, beneficiaries in some states have gotten their full monthly allocations.
Some states got, so they may have had money or stuff set aside. Some of them got their benefits and stuff, right? But read on.
While others have gotten partial payments or nothing at all.
And those ones that did get some stuff, how long is it going to last?
Right.
That's what you got to ask yourself. But read on.
Reopening the government means restarting SNAP.
See that? Hear that right there?
Oh, there you go. That was from his article.
That was what the article says.
You got to reapply.
You got to reapply for it all over again. You got to start all over from the bottom. So now,
right. Yo.
So now they got to reapply. You got to think. You got to see how much. You got people that's backlogged. And now they got to start over again. Man, it's going to be crazy.
So you got a government shutdown. And you got to reapply.
Yeah, and you got to reapply.
So how that time is going to be crazy.
Yes.
I want to know how the world they missed. Like, you have to reapply for SNAP like regularly.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you just get it and you good. No, they make you do updates, right? How's 186,000 people and counting that ain't even alive got benefits? You know what I'm saying? How does that happen? That means your system ain't up to par. You know what I mean? Your system ain't up to par.
Out of date.
Yeah.
They been getting over it.
They sneaking in there.
Yeah.
And you know what they come think about it, I know something that you don't mention in here. The unemployment. The unemployment rate is gonna go crazy. And you remember how long it took before when they had some people got laid off and stuff? It took a while. For you to get your unemployment. It took months. Some people took just longer. So now this is about to take place again. But go ahead and read on.
Hey, I'm sorry, real quick. Earlier it said that they had to pass a Supreme Court judge had to pass a ruling saying, hey, we need to stop layoffs because they was firing people during the shutdown. They was actually firing people during the shutdown. It was like, hey, we gotta chill because it says something about it was notable to the it says judge indefinitely halt shutdown layoffs, noting the human toll. So they was noticing, hey, I'm seeing a lot of crime pop up around here. Like I'm seeing videos of whole families walking down Target with food. You know what I'm saying? And because they know that the Target people can't do nothing to them. You know what I mean? They was like, we got to do something different.
Got to do something different. Man. People struggling. People trying to make ends meet. They ain't prepared for this famine or for this shutdown. Go ahead.
But it's not clear how quickly full payments will resume.
Hear that? It ain't clear. They don't have the full understanding of that. Meaning, let you know it's not going to be no full payments going through. This thing going to take some time. Go ahead.
Since that varies by state, and as NPR has reported, many who rely on the program are worried that benefits could be cut again.
Right. So, I know we got the next thing here, that was going into like the Smithsonian's and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, I want that scripture of Nebuchadnezzar's vision, and to show you about the 10 toes, about this kingdom. But we're going to read about all the kingdoms.
Daniel chapter 2, verse 38.
So what we about to read, we're going to show you what Nebuchadnezzar had a dream of what took place, and it talks about this kingdom here, something about this last kingdom. But go ahead.
And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all.
Right.
Thou art this head of gold.
So the head of gold, that was the Babylonian Empire at that time, with King Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, but go ahead.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass,
So this kingdom of a third kingdom of brass. Go ahead.
which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things.
Right. So I want you to read it again from the top. So let you know the head of gold, that was what you would call it. That was Babylon. Okay, that's who Nebuchadnezzar. He was a Babylonian. Okay, today would be people in Iraq. Okay, which is what they call them Chaldeans. Okay, or Chaldeans. H is silent in Arabic. But go ahead, read it, the chest part.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee.
So this is the Persian and Mede Empire. Okay,
Right.
First it was the Media Persia, but then the Persians supersede the Medes. Okay, This is the Persian and Mede Empire. And this is today what you will call they will call Elamites in the Bible, Elam,
Right.
or today we call your East Indians, your Persians. Okay, which is East Indians or Iranians or Afghanistan and them. That's them today. Okay, go ahead.
And another third kingdom of brass.
Of brass, right? Who's the brass? The brass is going into the Greeks, okay? Because you read through history, it's giving you a history timeline. So you got the Greeks, you know what I'm saying? Now they're ruling, okay?
Right.
So the Greeks had took over, and this is doing Alexander the Greek, okay? I ain't saying the Great.
Right.
Alexander the Greek. You read about him in history. Go ahead.
Which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
This kingdom here that's going to be iron, going to be strong, is talking about Rome, okay? This is doing Rome with Julius Caesar and all of them, okay? The Caesars that you read about. Rome just an extension, it is an extension of Greece, okay? The same people, go ahead.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes.
Hear that? Now we're going into today's kingdom. The feet and toes. How many toes you got on your feet? You got 10 toes. Normal people got, I ain't gonna say normal people, but normally people got 10 toes, right? You got 10 fingers, 10 toes, right? You know, and it said those 10 toes are going into your 10 common markets, okay?
Right.
Your European
Union.
Yeah, European Union, okay? Or United Nations, NATO.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Right.
Part of potter's clay, and part of iron.
So now it's letting you know this kingdom is part of iron. It's got a lot of Rome, and that's in the midst of it. A lot of Rome, and it's got a lot of clay. What is clay is like it is made up of just iron and clay, right? Go ahead.
Right.
The kingdom shall be divided.
It said the kingdom shall be divided. Cause that's what we seeing what's taking place. You got people, you got a lot of our people coming. Hey man, you need to vote. You need to go become a Democrat. You need to become a Republican and all that. But a lot of our people are Democrats, right?
Right.
They fall into that. So read.
The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
So they're gonna be strong, just like the iron was. Okay, they're gonna have that strength, just like Rome. Go ahead.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
So the iron mixed with miry clay. For those who don't know the word miry clay is like mud. You know what I'm saying? This is clay that's wet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got hardened yet. So it's not, you can still mold it and shape it. It hasn't been heated yet to be, solid, to make a solidness, right? So this thing here is not, it don't mix together. Go ahead.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Shall be partly strong and partly broken. That's where you got all these differences. You got different beliefs. This is a great melting pot. You know what I'm saying? You got different belief systems, and you got all type of things. All these different nations is all mixed up. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot of Babylon that's in it too. It's where Babylon had a lot of kingdoms that was in the midst of it. Egypt, you know what I'm saying? You got gay rights. You got you got a lot of different things that's taking place. And a lot of people is not in agreement with each other. We'll touch on that, but read.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
With the seed of men, that's all the different nations. Go ahead. That's why you come in here You got all these different nations. You got different type of restaurants and all that stuff. And these people, they're divided. They stick to their own selves.
Right.
They don't, I mean, you do have people that do intermix and things like that, but it's confusion. Okay.
It's whole communities here in Raleigh. When I used to do Uber and Lyft, it's whole communities here in Raleigh that's just like Elam.
Yes.
Like entire gated communities where they don't, they got their guards sitting at the gate and everything. And I'm like, who is these people? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's whole communities. They
whole communities.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's funny that you're speaking on that with Elam, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we here in Raleigh, you go to Morrisville, it's full of them. It's full of East Indians there, right? And Morrisville, they run everything. And go to Cary, is a bunch of them. Apex, Holly Springs, and that whole area, Durham. Hey, it's a whole big community of them. But someone donated, I forgot how much, millions, too much money. A pastor, named Pam or Spam. What's his name? What's Pam's name?
Philip Anthony Mitchell.
Yeah, Philip Anthony Mitchell. He donated all that money to them. Why? Why not? Why didn't you donate the money to your so-called church followers? Which is of your own nationality, your same people, right? But you didn't donate no money to them, but you took their money and gave it to another nation.
Yeah.
That don't make sense. You took it from them. You took their money.
I'll make this up.
And gave the money to another nation.
Like they needed that help.
Yeah,
they own everything.
Right.
They own everything,
Yeah,
man.
They own all the hotels.
Yes.
It's the amulet and then Elam. They own everything, man.
Yep.
All the hood stores, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Think about how does hotel rhymes with Patel? Not how to put that out there, guys, but I don't, they own that, you know what I'm saying? But you donate money to a nation that already has their own king, they have their own kingdom and things, they got their own stuff, man. But they don't even believe in the same thing supposedly what you believe in.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of them is Hindu, and some of them is Krishna, and they got all these different guys, and some of them is because you got the Pakistanians. The Pakistan and India are the same people.
Yeah.
They just got two different beliefs. That's all. One's Islam and one of them is in Hinduism.
Yeah.
Okay. But finish reading that scripture though. I just had to touch it. I go off top. I just thought about that thing. But go ahead.
That's it. But they shall not cleave one to another.
They're not gonna cleave one to another. Why? They're gonna be divided. Go ahead.
Even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom.
So that it is future prophecy. When you read on it, that's talking about when Christ return. Okay, when He destroyed all them other nations. Okay, that part ain't happened yet, but it's showing you. We're showing you who the 10 toes is, who the 10 common markets are, and who that miry clay. Well, miry clay is clay that hadn't hardened yet. It's like mud. It's soft. You know what I'm saying? But you can still shape it and all that. But it's not going to stick to the iron. It'll be falling off. You gotta keep patting and trying to form it. That's the same thing with this nation here. So give me Amos 3:3. Give me Amos chapter 3 and verse 3, because it speak about about people trying to come together. Read what you got.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
So it says, can two people walk together, right, except they be agreed? So you got two parties, right? You got your Democrats, you got your Republicans, you got the House, Senate, you got all this stuff, and if they not in agreement, everybody's suffering, right? Everybody got to suffer, right? And then, but you got people in politics, or let's say there's people who are so-called leaders, in the Black, Hispanic, Native American communities. They all keep talking about vote. We voted for Obama back in the days, right? What happened? Nothing.
Right.
We voted for this person. Nothing. Hey, you still look. People voted for Trump. And guess what? Look, he showed the true colors.
He's making it worse.
He's making it worse for y'all, and it's just showing you that this place is divided. It's not the same. You got different beliefs. People got their own. People greedy. People want to, you got the rich, you got the poor. And with that, hold on for a minute. Go to Sirach 13 real quick. Sirach chapter 13. Just to show
I just
you.
wanted to say, your whole topic is based off their division.
Right.
The government shutdown is from division.
Yeah.
Division,
Literally.
So I just,
and they feed off of that stuff, man. They feed off that division, and our people they don't see it because they being brainwashed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sirach chapter 13 and verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor.
Right, so it's let you know, all beasts, you ever heard the saying, birds of a feather, they flock together, right?
Yep.
So you'll see that here, in America. So it's let you know, you got this kingdom is divided, so you got this group of people, that group of people, and they can't come together, right?
Right.
Especially amongst our people, you know what I'm saying? They all divided, conquered and destroyed, right? Go ahead.
All flesh consorteth according to kind. And a man will cleave to his like.
Let you know a man would cleave to his like. You know what I'm saying? We into the same thing. We weed smokers. We're gonna come over here, we're gonna smoke weed. We crackheads over here, we're gonna smoke crack. We're gonna drink liquor over here.
Yep.
We're gonna hang out at the liquor store and get drunk, And if you see it with the picture what I'm trying to paint, hey, you got your rich people, you got your poor people, right? So read, go ahead on.
What fellowship have the wolf with the lamb?
So it's letting you know what fellowship with the wolf with the lamb. What's going to take place? Wolf going to eat that lamb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read.
So the sinner with the godly.
Right. So you got people that sin, that's in the midst of all type of craziness. They all stick together. They like all that foolishness. Then you got the godly, those that keep God's commandments. We're supposed to be separate from this world. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog?
So yeah, just like some of you may think, a hyena, he looks like a dog, but it's not in the same family as a dog, okay? So a hyena would tear a dog up and eat him. Go ahead.
And what peace between the rich and the poor?
So it's letting you know there, what peace is there between the rich and the poor? When there's going to be a crazy upright, going to be riots, all type of stuff about to take place here in the near future. Go ahead.
As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor.
So the rich eat up the poor. So this is why they give you some of your money back, so that way you can go buy all the Thanksgiving stuff. You can buy all the Christmas gifts and the Christmas tree and the real tree and the fake tree.
Right.
This goes into idolatry. Okay, read on.
Idolatry.
As the proud hate humility, so does the rich abhor the poor.
Hear that? As the proud hate humility, so does the rich. They hate the poor. Only thing they like of you is your money. They don't like you. They just want like the green that come out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Your work. You doing all the work for them, and they getting richer. Okay.
Yep.
So that's their mindset. Okay. Let's go back to that thing here real quick on the topic real quick.
Okay.
Actually, we're gonna jump. We ain't gonna talk about the Smithsonian and all that stuff.
Yep.
Let's go to flights.
Air travel won't bounce back overnight.
So now we got a lot of people that travel, that fly, that go different places with work or personal. Right? Go ahead.
The shutdown snarled air travel to a tangle that experts say is beyond a quick fix.
Beyond a quick fix. So this is not going to happen overnight. So but they trying to rush it because they know these holidays is coming up, right? These holidays, because they know people are going to travel and want to see family and stuff. Go ahead.
Escalating shortages of air traffic controllers who have been required to work without pay.
Right. So they want them to work without pay, right? Read.
Caused delays and disruptions at airports nationwide since early October. Then last week, the Federal Aviation Administration ordered airlines to reduce air traffic at 40 of the country's busiest airports, starting by 4% and ramping up to 10% by this Friday.
So they end up ramping that thing. I say, hey man, we ain't got nobody working here. We don't know when we're gonna be able to get everybody back to work because they ain't getting paid. So a lot of people say, man, I'm walking. I ain't dealing with this.
Right.
Those ones have money saved up. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that probably stayed, those ones didn't have money saved up. They had to work that thing. You know what I'm saying? But read on.
Why flight disruptions could linger even after the government shutdown ends.
Right. So it's still gonna linger. This is letting you know. Yeah, they passed the government shutdown, but everything is got to take its course. Everything's like a traffic jam right now. So now you got to unravel the traffic jam or unravel the Rubik's Cube because everything is all confused.
Right.
But go ahead.
The FAA announced Wednesday that it would freeze flight reductions at the current 6% level, citing a rapid improvement in controller staffing. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said air traffic controllers will get a lump sum payment equal to 70% of their back pay within 48 hours of the shutdown ending.
Right, so they're going to try to make sure they pay them.
Yep.
Right, why? Because they know everybody got to travel, because they got to travel too. You know what I'm saying? So they got their government workers, they got to go from point A to point B, and things got to take place. So they're going to make sure they try to pay those people their money so they can make, they can, how can I say, they're what do you call it? They're a high commodity of they give them getting they make them high important to pay them back versus paying people that who work the little jobs that's struggling.
Structure all that
stuff. You just at the counter or mopping or whatever.
We don't.
The agency says it will continue to assess whether the system can gradually return to normal operations. Airlines and aviation regulators have warned that flight disruptions are likely to continue once the government reopens. Airlines had to adjust their schedules to reduce flights, and those changes can take time to reverse.
Right, so jump down to where it says air travel, the last paragraph, the air travel experts. Read that.
Air travel experts have told NPR that even after the shutdown, lingering impacts could potentially complicate Thanksgiving travel, which is always a hectic time to fly.
Hear that? So they know people trying to come together to come for these wicked holidays, right? Okay. So now they know, like, hey, we gotta try to figure something out to try to get these people so they can get by all the turkeys, they can go visit their family. Then they eventually, after they spent up all their money on all these wicked holidays and they done got full off turkey. Now that's that gift destroy the heart. Right. Then we got to pull the plug. Or after
pull the plug on
January 30, we got to pull the plug. Right. So scroll down. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just want to give the warning again. Hey, look, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, diaspora, we are not falling for that this year, right? We not celebrating Thanksgiving. We not celebrating Christmas. We not celebrating New Year's, right? That's the challenge. From your brothers to you. That's the challenge. From the leaders of your people to you, do not acknowledge these days this year. Just do it 1 year. Try not lying to your child about somebody coming down the chimney with presents. Let's try that. Try not celebrating the death and destruction and cannibalism of your Native American brothers. Try that. Let's focus on what God says, and that should keep you as safe as possible. You know what I'm saying? From January 30th, start watching IUIC, right? Start learning who you are. Open your Bible. You know what I mean? All of that stuff will start to come to you as the Spirit starts to enter in. When you begin to keep the commandments, you're going to say, oh yeah, you know what? I do need to prepare for end times because it's hard times coming. Don't fall for the trick bag. Jeez.
Hey, officer, you mind if I get a script real quick? 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 16. So the division point and the traveling point is in these two scriptures right here. 2nd Ezra 15, verse 16 and 17.
Yes, sir. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men.
So there's going to be division. There's going to be civil unrest. There's going to be back and forth. There's going to be uproars. There's going to be rioting. Go ahead.
And invading one another.
It's gonna start being war. Civil war, then ultimately it's going to be bigger war. Because regional war starts, bigger wars. Go ahead.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
And that's what's going to start happening because the people ain't getting paid.
Right.
They're going to start getting mad at people. Listen, if I can't get paid, people are going to start rebelling. Right. That's what's going to happen. Go ahead.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Because they got the power to do these things. No, you know what? Trump is like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to pay you. We ain't giving you nothing.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Yep.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
It's hard to fly right now. You can't travel right now. So, and you're going to start seeing more and more and more of that.
Yep.
It's going to get to a point where you can't drive certain places.
Right.
Right now it's flights. But it's going to get to a point where you can't drive certain places.
Yep. Roadblocks.
Yeah. There you go. Roadblocks. Yep.
Read verse 18 real quick.
Verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. Civil unrest.
Civil unrest. You know what I'm saying? a lot of riots.
Riots.
Yeah, riots. That's the word I'm trying to look.
And all of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looting, all type of stuff going to
Yeah.
take place because people can't get what they want. You know what I'm saying? But read.
The houses shall be destroyed.
So they're gonna be going through the houses and destroying people's houses, robbing. You know, just like you watch the movie, them apocalyptic movies. Everybody got to survive.
Yeah.
They gotta come back. You have to bear arms. You know what I'm saying? Read.
And men shall be afraid.
That's what people are afraid of right now. What's taking place there? All right. Let me see here. Let's read the part. Jump down where it says the IRS.
There we go. The IRS is looking ahead to tax filing season.
So now this is where the crunch thing coming at. Tax filing season. Everybody looking for taxes. Read.
The IRS furloughed nearly half of its approximately 74,000 workers and tried to lay off roughly 1,400 others.
Right. Go ahead.
Though those cuts were reversed as a result of the bill reopening the government, the agency's operations were limited during the shutdown.
Right, so it was limited, right? It was things you couldn't get in contact with certain people. They had to shut down certain offices within that the IRS. Go ahead.
Right.
It generally did not pay tax refunds during this period, scaled back its live telephone customer service supports, closed walk-in taxpayer assistance centers, and canceled appointments related to cases with the Independence Office of Appeals and Tax Advocate Service, which it says will be rescheduled once the government reopens.
Once it reopened, right? So, okay, it's reopened, but it's crazy now. Now you got a lot of stuff. Everything has stopped. It came to a halt. So nobody was able to get work done.
Right.
Go ahead.
Tax deadlines and laws remain in effect. And the IRS says it has continued critical operations related to next year's tax filing season.
Right. So next year's tax filing season is going to be crazy. It's going to be messed up, brother. And people might not even see they remember last time when the government shut down. It took a while to get your tax return back. It took months. Now who knows? It might take this time next year to get those years the tax that you're looking for. Because most people start filing taxes in January now. You know, you look to get your taxes back by March, April, or whatever. But hey, you might not get none back maybe till the next following year.
Or you might not get nothing at all.
They take all of it.
Yeah.
So read on.
Here are 6 beautiful bill tax changes that will benefit wealthy Americans.
Wealthy Americans. Ain't none of you wealthy. None of you blacks, Hispanics, and whatever. You ain't wealthy. You ain't rich.
I'm about to say that's not rich. That's a whole other level. When you say somebody's wealthy, that's not rich.
Right.
Most black people can attain the level of rich.
Right.
But you ain't getting wealth. That's
that ain't
the
paycheck
stuff
to paycheck.
Yeah, you got to enslave some people and make them work for free for 400 and some years in order to get wealthy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Old money.
Read what you got there.
But some experts worry that the effects of the shutdown, on top of thousands of IRS job cuts enacted earlier this year, could make for a messy 2026 tax season.
Oh, it's gonna be messy, right? So hey, hang tight, y'all. Hang tight on that. Go ahead.
In an October letter to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the American Institute of CPAs, AICPA, urged the IRS to take steps like pausing notice and collection activities during the shutdown. It wrote that since taxpayers can only respond to those by mail, the understaffed agency may not see their letters in time to fix errors or address issues, and will have to deal with an unwieldy backlog when the government reopens.
So they're gonna be backlog. It's a lot of stuff they got paperwork. You know, paperwork gonna get lost. Some people be like, man, I ain't doing all this work, man. Heck with this. So read on.
This burden has the real potential to delay the 2026 filing season due to the increased stresses to our entire tax system, the accountants wrote.
Right, read. Dang.
Such disruptions have happened before. The 2018-2019 shutdown left the IRS with over 5 million pieces of unprocessed mail, 80,000 unaddressed responses to fiscal year 2018 earned income tax credit audits, and 87,000 amended returns waiting to be processed, according to a report by the National Taxpayer Advocate, an independent agency within the IRS.
So let you know it's going to be chaos.
Oh yeah.
All right, it's going to be a lot of...
So this is worse than last time, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead.
And years earlier, the 16-day government shutdown in October 2013 delayed billions of dollars of tax returns and created a backlog of 1.2 million income and social security number verification requests, according to the Committee of a Responsible Budget.
Right. So read this part here, just the highlighted part.
Delayed economic reports may never be released.
Right. So let you know there's other stuff, other things being delayed, other things that's taking place. You got a lot of people that who work for the government, who got contracts and stuff like that. Hey, if you waiting on them to pay you, or you waiting on to hear from them, you're not gonna hear nothing from them, because everything is all backed up right now. Everything is chaos right now. They're trying to work out these kinks, but it's gonna take a long time. I want you to go into the other article I sent you real quick. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna scroll down.
The AP one, sir?
Yeah, the AP one.
All right.
Yeah, Associated Press one.
Yes, sir.
We'll go to one where it says help with heat.
Help with heat.
Yeah, this going into what happened with those that's on Snap and stuff. You scroll, you see where it says federal workers, and then next below it says help with heat.
I had to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, read that.
Help with heat. What happened? The shutdown coincided with the arrival of colder temperatures.
Remember, it got cold here recently, right? So go ahead.
And funding for the $4.1 billion low-income home energy assistance program was halted, prompting some states to delay payments for heating bills.
So right now what's taking place, I got to speed up because of the sake of time. What's taking place here is that you got those companies, you know what I'm saying, that was getting funded by the government. You know, the government ain't paid them. You know what I'm saying? This is for people that lives in subsidized housing or government assistance. And the bill, you know what I'm saying, is being funded by the government. The government weren't able to pay these people because the government was shut down. So, not people, I'm saying they weren't able to pay these companies. Okay, we read that. Read what it says. What now? Read that.
What now? A U.S. Department of Health and Human Services spokesperson said Thursday that an agency within HHS will work swiftly to administer annual awards, but no timeline was given.
No timeline was given, right? Read.
Mark Wolf, executive director of the National Energy Assistant Directors Association, said it could take until mid-December or longer. Wolf said receipts should still submit applications and tell utility companies they're waiting for the funds.
They're waiting for the funds,
It's trickier for people who rely on oil and propane because typically there are no protections. Recipients should check with their state. Vermont backfired funding and Connecticut has pledged to cover the cost.
Right, so yeah, some states is helping other states out, but that's not going to be the case with everybody, you know what I'm saying? So jump down, down to where it says federal social programs, Head Start. So you got a lot of programs, right? Let's read that about what happened.
Federal social programs, Head Start. What happened? When it comes to Head Start, the shutdown had held up the distribution of federal grant payments. Some affected centers remain open by furloughing portions of their staff or tapping into emergency reserves.
Right, so this is going into like the Head Start programs for the young kids, you know what I'm saying? When they go to Head Start before you go to kindergarten and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Others were forced to close, shutting down child care for thousands of families.
So some families in them had their kids, they couldn't go to the program. Go ahead.
Head Start serves children from birth to age 5 who come from families that qualify for federal low-income guidelines.
Right. So jump down. You see the part where it says education. Read that part about the education.
Yes, sir. Education. What happened? The Education Department laid off 466 educational department staffers in the cross-government firings meant to pressure Democratic lawmakers over the shutdown.
Right. So they doing this thing. They doing a strategic war against each other, but it's hurting us, right? Hurting our people, right? Go ahead.
Those layoffs have been halted by a federal judge. The department furloughed 2,117 employees at the start of the shutdown, but some were brought back for essential work. New grants were also put on hold during the shutdown. Most school districts received the bulk of their federal funding over the summer, but some grants have been delayed.
Right, so a lot of things been delayed. Jump to the military.
Military. What happened? Members of the U.S. military dealt with weeks of anxiety over whether they would get paid as they continued working.
Right, so yeah, the military was affected by this, right? Yeah, a lot of National Guard reserves, 'cause a lot of them is funded by the government. Okay, they can't get put on orders and stuff like that. So they were struggling, right? You know, but you had the active duty people. They had to pay them because they don't act full active duty, but they had to go in their reserves. But read on.
The Trump administration ultimately found ways to pay troops for the 2 pay periods during the closure, but the process was fraught. The administration located the money just days before each paycheck. Pay arrived days later than usually for many service members with early direct deposit, disrupting their ability to pay bills and forcing some to pay late fees or rack up debt.
So they got a lot of the military in debt now. Why? Because all this stuff it took place, they couldn't pay their bills. Go ahead.
Reimbursements for the cost of moving between bases, which affects roughly 400,000 military families each year.
Yeah, so people PCSing, going from base to base, post change and services. Go ahead.
Were paused during the shutdown, advocates said, and weekend drills for many revisits were canceled.
Reservists.
Reservists were canceled, eliminating a chunk of pay that can be several $100s each month.
So you had those that was depending on that pay, you know, for the weekend, those weekend warriors, they ain't getting no check, you know, because they couldn't go drill. You know what I'm saying? So they were struggling. You got people, so like I was touching on those people that was PCSing and moving, you got people that have contracts that help move, like the Mayflower and all that and stuff. You got different, you know, all these different levels of movers and other people that play a part in working with the government. All of them was halted. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do nothing, and their businesses went to crap. You know, so this thing did a big old domino effect on the whole nation. You know, but a lot of our people work these jobs. You know what I'm saying? And they struggled with all this turmoil and stuff with the government shutdown. So I say I got like 2 minutes left. You know. Let me see here real quick. The main thing we just want to tell you, man, hey, keep God's commandments.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what you got to do. Come back to who you are. You know what I'm saying? Come back to God's law, statutes, and commandments. Leave the way of Babylon the Great.
That's
you
right.
know, and now you see the trusting in this system has not done anything for us.
Yep.
It has not done anything. And we ain't supposed to be voting. You go to Deuteronomy 17 and 15. They talk about, you know, us voting for another nation, for a president, and getting involved in their politics and stuff. Look what the politics done did now.
Right.
They done got you in the turmoil. Now you
hungry and cold.
Hurt. Yeah.
Right.
You got you all jacked up.
Working without pay.
Without pay. Right. So with that again, you know, to let you know, hey, I'm Officer Nahum. You know, we IUIC Raleigh. Who I got in the booth with me?
Officer Ibnaya.
Officer Maydad.
Officer Maydad. You know, so we all up in here. You know, we're trying to bring out this information. Hope you guys glean something from this and learn. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust in oppression. Okay.
Right.
Never trust in oppression. You know what I'm saying? Don't. Matter of fact, give me that real quick if you can. In Proverbs, we'll close it out with that. Proverbs 3 and 5. Lean not to your own understanding.
Yes, sir. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
So the Bible said, trust in the Most High God with all thy heart. Read.
And lean not unto thine own understanding.
Don't lean into your own understanding. Going into the other nations or going into the government, it ain't done nothing for us, okay? All it does is it makes you fail. But with that, people, brothers and sisters, again, IUIC Raleigh, Shalom, Most High in Christ bless.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless Israel.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.